everyone, welcome back to Cosmetic Chaos. I hope you all enjoyed my dad doing my makeup, the last video that I posted, as well as the collab with Kaylee, who I pronounced her last name wrong, and I'm so sorry. So today I feel like we make it a little bit ranty. I was perusing through YouTube recently and I saw this new tag, the Beauty? I was perusing through YouTube recently and I came across the beauty community tag, so I thought I would do that here. I haven't really watched too many of the videos. I just thought might as well look up the questions and I'm gonna kind of ad hoc answer them. So if I go ranty, I'm sorry, I don't know what's gonna happen. Question number one are what are my favorite videos to watch, and to be honest with you, I'm gonna have to say palette collections and Project Pan, but pan that palette specifically. I really like watching other people use up all their stuff because I move through my palettes so often. For me to get something with a dent in it even is pretty rare. Like there's not one set of palettes that I use all the time. I'm like constantly moving between all of them. There's nothing that sits for very long. What are my favorite videos to film? I can tell you my least favorite is makeup tutorials, and only because I find it very difficult to stay in the frame, so you're getting a lot of this. And then I feel like the content's not very good, and you see how irritating this is. Look, the top of my head. So I would say that's my least favorite. So my favorite video to film would probably be things like hauls, tags, and basically when you just get to talk about products or reviews. So basically I like to film anything that is not an actual tutorial, which is why you haven't seen a ton of tutorials lately. Number three is what are my least favorite videos to watch, and I'm going to be super truthful here and say that pretty much anything that a big YouTuber puts out anymore, I just can't handle it. I have recently unsubscribed from Manny, Laura Lee, Jaclyn Hill, Nikki Tutorials. I don't think I was ever subscribed to Jeffree Star. Basically every large YouTuber except for Rach Loves and Tati I have unsubscribed from, mostly because they are just like, they're so out of touch with what real life is now. Jaclyn Hill doing her closet tour really turned me off. I thought it was in very poor taste, as there are constantly people who are very young who think this is what real life is like. And they're seeing this and it's just, they're setting an expectation that is next to impossible. I know American Dream is a thing and people can make it, and I don't want to discourage that, but for me to sit down and watch a grown woman sit here and tell me how she is too busy to pick out her own clothes, like I just can't deal with that. That made me immediately unsubscribe and I was just done. I also hate watching reviews that are not reviews. They are reviews of things they've just pulled out of the box. You watch them pull them out of the box and use it once and they're like, yep, it's great. Let's be real, it's a first impression. Something can be great off of first impression, it totally can. But if you don't know any other information about what you're talking about, it is no longer a review. If you can't tell me the price, if you can't tell me what it's supposed to do, and if you can't tell me what it does after a certain amount of time, it's not a review. Question number four is what is your favorite part of the beauty community? And honestly, I would say it is the ability to kind of go and make friends in the Facebook groups and on other people's videos and really get a good bearing on people's differing opinions on lots of products. I have become friends with lots of different people. Even just since being back, I have been in these new Facebook groups that weren't around when I was originally around, and they've been really great. Lucinda, I will link some people down below, and I will maybe put some photos around me of people that I have met who are doing really well and are incredibly encouraging. The smaller beauty community is very encouraging. They're typically very, very nice and very understanding and very supportive, and there is nothing else like that in the world that I have experienced where you can just really go in there and immediately connect with a group of people. What is your least favorite part of the beauty community? I think people take it a little too seriously. I see people begging for subscribers, and I see people only doing sub for sub or follow for follow, and then they immediately unfollow you or they unsubscribe from you, and I really don't like that. I think it's in very poor taste, and it's just totally not necessary. If you're putting out good content, people will watch it, and if you are working with the algorithms and you're being engaged, there should be nothing wrong with that. Like, there's no reason. I see people from total different communities that will come and drop links on my channel, which is fine. I said it's fine before, but then when I don't immediately go and subscribe to them or go and view every video on their channel, they will send me nasty notes, and I don't know why that is or why it's necessary. You would actually think that my least favorite part of the beauty community would be the mean comments that we get sometimes. Like, I've been told I'm too fat for makeup. I've been told that I'm an idiot. I've been told that I've been made of poison. Like, if you go to my unique rant, which I will link up here, and you go read the comments there, they are nasty comments. And I think it's funny. I think it's funny that something that I have to say can affect somebody else that much. So I don't mind that part of the community. I don't even delete the comments. I totally leave them. I will respond in the most polite way possible as you can in those situations, and just let it go, because things like that shouldn't bother you. And sometimes I try and put it in perspective for the person leaving the comment that this is just makeup and it's not that big a deal. What motivated me to start my channel? In my YouTube first tag that I put up a few weeks ago, I would say probably Carly Bible, but then again, I was already blogging at the time, and a lot of people were telling me that I should totally do the YouTube channel and it would be really, really great, and I would be a natural at it, la la la. So I gave it a try. My first video, I will again link up here as well if you want to check it out. I did the Tartist clay liner. I can't even remember what it's called at this point. It was 3 years ago. And I was so awkward and so uncomfortable, but the more I did it, the better I got at it and the more natural I started to feel. And then I just enjoyed the process of using the technology to edit the videos, and I liked going through the reviews, and I liked the community, so I just kind of stayed. Who inspires me most on YouTube? To be honest with you, I don't want to say they inspire me the most, but I have the most respect for Emily Noel. She is one of the bigger YouTubers, but she does not sell out. She is just a mom. She is a regular person who does this for a living. She does real reviews. She goes through sizing. She goes through how much product you get, the wear time. She does challenges. She does tags. And you know what? The amount of work and effort she puts into her channel is not reflective of the amount of people that subscribe to her. Her views are crazy and her subscribers are crazy, don't get me wrong, but they are not the level of, say, Jaclyn Hill or Tati Westbrook, and I believe that they should be. I have a great amount of respect for everything that she does and how she has stayed true to herself the entire time. She doesn't go to these launch parties. She doesn't live that kind of life in the beauty community, so I trust more what she has to say, and I hope that if my channel ever does take off, I can totally stay in that kind of frame of mind where I don't become too big for my britches. What is the #1 thing I would change about the beauty community? People taking it too seriously. Like, I watch people in my groups who put a lot of work in and they then lose a bunch of followers, and that happened to me when I first came back. I gained about 10 subscribers, but then I lost 30 all of a sudden, and I understand that that happens, and it's upsetting at the time, and I wish I could change this about myself as well, that I wouldn't care as much, because it's not about the numbers. It's supposed to be about enjoying the products that you're reviewing, or not enjoying them really, and putting that out into the world. So if there was one thing I could really change, is how seriously people take their following. If you have followers, great. If you don't, that's okay too. Like, it's not a big deal. People will find you by hashtags. You don't necessarily need a bunch of followers. For any company that will only speak to certain influencers based on their engagement rate, so be it. Don't work with that company then. Like, that's okay. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of companies who put out great products. Just move on. What is my #1 piece of advice for someone starting their own YouTube channel? I have a few pieces of advice, I think. #1 is don't take yourself too seriously. Just come on, be yourself. Like, don't worry about what your clothes looks like or if your hair is perfect, because no one is perfect. No one looks like that. My second piece of advice is review things that you enjoy, talk about things that you enjoy, and talk about things that you're knowledgeable on. You will not get anywhere in this forum if you don't know what you're talking about, and that is, I feel like, one of the biggest problems that is starting to really shape in the beauty community is people see others getting rich and they see them getting successful, and they're coming here with no real value add. So whether it is the beauty community, whether it is gaming, whether it is food, whatever you come on here to do, be able to truly speak to the passion that you're here for. Because if you can't, nobody's gonna watch your content. That's what's important. It's not important to have the perfect lighting. It's not important to have the perfect room or the perfect background or the perfect whatever. You don't need to invest in millions of dollars on equipment. You really can stick your phone on a tripod and just go. Say what you have to say. That was the beauty of YouTube, is that the production value didn't have to be there to get the point across. The last question in this tag is, what do I like about YouTube as a whole? And let me tell you, what I like about YouTube as a whole is that there is literally videos about anything. Do you need to learn how to change a toilet? That's on YouTube. Do you need to learn how to change a light switch? That's on YouTube. Do you need to learn how to change or shorten a blind, for example? That's on YouTube. These are 3 things that I have looked up on YouTube and been able to do myself. This place is just a wealth of knowledge, and I love it, and I am saddened that things have changed the way they have changed, where it forces you to only watch certain people. I wish that more smaller content would come up on my feed in any kind of situation, whether it's planning community, beauty community, handyman's community. All I'm seeing are the main channels, and sometimes that's not what I want. I can't wait to see what YouTube turns into. I don't know. I think it's an inspiring way to educate people, is to do what YouTube has done, and I'm interested to see if another kind of platform similar to this will arise now that some of these changes have happened. But to be honest with you, it is like an online encyclopedia of every possible thing you could ever search, as long as it's not inappropriate. Anyway, guys, if you are seeing this video, I tag you to do it, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope it wasn't too ranty for you, because I do know that I kind of went like a couple times.